Would you like to learn more intermediate techniques to take your French beaded flower skills to the next level? You've come to the right place because the goal of this channel is to help you shorten your learning curve while starting out to make French beaded flowers. Hi everyone, I'm Fen Lee, designer here at the Bead Flora studio and author to the book Bead Flora, the Revival of French Beaded Flowers. On this channel, I offer technique reference guides, tip videos, and free beaded flower tutorials just like this one. If you're new here and would like to learn more, consider subscribing. This week, we are on to part 2 of making these summer blooms flowers. It is the 4th technique project in my book. I'll put the link in the description with where you can buy your own copy. It is also available through Kindle Unlimited. If you would like to check out my book, you can sign up for a 30-day free trial. And last week, we made the petals, center, and calyx. Today, I will show you how to make the leaves using the scallops technique. It was a technique that first appeared in a Japanese beaded flower book and became popular in the US after Donna Dick, author of French Beading Designs, coined the term scallops for the technique in her book. Today, I will show you how to make scallops and assembly for the summer blooms flowers. And before I begin, the pre-order for the Summer Wildflowers kits are now available for pre-order on my website. I'll put the link in the description below. Now let's get started. Next, we'll work on the leaves, and the technique we'll be learning is scalloping or scallops. It is a variation of the basic frame technique, and I already have some green beads on 24 gauge wire here. The pattern calls for a 30 bead basic. Straighten everything out here. We'll do a pointed top, rounded bottom, 5 rows first. Now that I have all of the rows I need, I'm going to cut 19.5 inches of wire off of the spool. Now we're going to string the beads on as we make the scallops. With row 6, the pattern calls for an 8 bead count scallop, and what that basically means is that we count the beads from the top down 8 beads. And we'll string the beads up to this point. So I'm going to remove all the excess beads up to this point. And take the working wire and go behind the row and take the wire and thread it up between the 2 rows here. Now you want to make sure you're underneath the 8th bead and take the wire and bring it over to the left. And we are ready to string some more beads on to finish the scallop. and you want to remove any excess beads before the twisted wire. You want to have just the right amount of beads. Take the working wire and go behind the twisted wire. Now, before we finish the wrap, we're going to take the working wire and go between the left outer two rows and bring it back to the right-hand side. This repositions the working wire between these two rows. So instead of having the working wire down here, you have it between these two rows. We want to reposition the working wire because we made 2 consecutive rows on the left-hand side. I'll show you another method of how to reposition in another minute. Now we are ready to make the scallop on the right-hand side here, and because this is a pointed top, we'll probably need a 9 bead count scallop. But what's most important is that you want this scallop to mirror the one on the left. It could be 8, 9, or 10 beads, but you just want to make sure that it mirrors the left-hand side. But for a pointed top, it's most likely a 9 bead count. I strung too many beads here, so let's count and remove. We look at this here, and does it mirror the left-hand side? Yes, it does. So I'm going to stick with the 9 bead count. Take the working wire and go behind the row and thread it back through. We want to make sure we're beneath the 9th bead here. You want to shape it as you go to make sure the row is nice and straight. We are ready to string more beads on to finish the scallop. And for this row, we're just going to wrap it around like we normally would. For row 10, we want a 5 bead count scallop. We want the beads to end right there. I'm going to show you another way to reposition. You can wrap it around fully and then take the working wire and go between the 2 outer left rows. Reposition your wire this way if it is easier for you. I'm going to finish the last 2 rows here. Now we are done. Finish off here and shape the leaf. Make sure it's straight. And here we have a 30 bead basic with a pointed top, rounded bottom, with 8 and 9 bead count scallops, then 5 bead count scallops. Now we are ready to assemble. We have the center, petals, calyx, and 2 leaves. Take the center and insert it into the hole of the petals here. And take all these wires and insert it into the hole of the calyx. Now scissor the base of the flower and twist the wires together. I'm going to use pliers here. Shape the flowers. We're ready to attach this to a length of stem wire, so place it next to the stem. And wrap it in with floral tape. Determine where you want to place the leaves. I'm going to add one right here. And I'm going to add the last leaf right over here. Shape your petals and leaves. Have you made scallops before? Will you be making your flowers using the techniques I showed you last week and in this week's videos? Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and hit the notification bell to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!